Right. It's the college football hour. Going to get after it today, Prater. Decisions. What Boise State hopefuls that can use a COVID year, get that 6th year of eligibility? Does Andy Avalos and his staff want to come back? And there are several big names, Prater, big pieces of this puzzle that have not made that announcement yet. We're gonna make it a little easier on them next, aren't we?
We're gonna send some information to Andy Avalos, but what we think he should do with this football roster.
I love it, man. But first, we don't forget winners in this town. We don't forget championship winning quarterbacks in this town. So we welcome on the MVP of the 2019 Mountain West Championship game, quarterback Jaylon Henderson, to Idaho Sports Talk. Jaylon, we had you on in the summer talking about your new gig as starting quarterback for the Impulse, the Panasonic Impulse of the X League. That's the big league in Japan. We were told you won Rookie of the Year. You went all the way to the Rice Bowl, lost a close game. Welcome back to Idaho Sports Talk, and seems like you had a pretty damn good year there in Japan, Jaylon. What's up?
How's it going, guys? Appreciate you guys having me again on the show. It's early in the morning here in Japan right now, and I know you guys are afternoon, and I miss being in Boise, listening to you guys' show every day. Listen to Johnny and Prater talk about the Broncos. That was one of my favorite things to do, and so just glad to be back here on the show. And thank you guys for having me.
Oh, we love it, man. Well, congratulations on the year you had, and I guess just give us kind of the cliff notes. You won Rookie of the Year over there, Jaylon. You took your team to the Rice Bowl. That's a big deal for Japanese American football, and seems like you're having fun and staying healthy. What was this year like? What's going to stand out? What are those memories going to be, man?
Absolutely. Great question. It was nothing but pure euphoria from the first, second that I stepped on the Japan soil. I was greeted with the utmost hospitality from the Japanese that live here, and my team, obviously, going through the season, we had some highlights, some low moments. But one thing that we were able to do, we were able to come together with a short time of, building chemistry. We had only been together for 6 months, a team full of rookies, and first year team. The fact that we were able to make it to the championship, it's been something that, we've wanted from the first day that we all got here. And, it's definitely something that I'll cherish forever. A highlight of my entire journey here is, getting to live with my guys that are on my team. Being with them. A lot of people don't have this same exact camaraderie within the team. But other than that, it's been absolutely fantastic, man, for sure.
We're talking to former Boise State quarterback Jaylon Henderson. He only played 12 games at Boise State, but they were some of the most memorable games, and certainly the impact he left on the program we'll talk about for many, many years to come. And now he's doing the same in Japan with American football, the Panasonic Impulse, and the Rice Bowl. Just real quick, give me the broad view, Jaylon, of, we all know, kind of understand, Japanese baseball and the professional leagues and players coming over here. What's American football like inside the culture of Japan and the athletic culture? How big is it? How important is it? I saw the video. Heck, the Tokyo Dome was packed, my friend.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I will tell you, the American football isn't as big as some other sports here, but, it's definitely on the come up, on the rise. And, same rules as traditional American college football. The only difference is that we play 12-minute quarters. But other than that, same rules, same size field, same size football, same hashes. And at the end of the day, it's just normal football. There's a little bit of a language barrier, given the fact that my coach speaks only Japanese and, I speak English being the quarterback. Having meetings in full Japanese, that's been a little bit of a barrier that I've been able to overcome and, be able to pick up the language, which has been very, very good for myself. I'm able to get myself around now, and that's a tool that I'll be able to keep in my pocket for my future, which is something that's very valuable as well.
X-League rookie here, Panasonic Impulse quarterback Jaylon Henderson, and it's crazy, some of those barriers, some of those things, but football is still football, and we're learning that even in the Far East. Let me just be honest. What type of living can you make over there, Jaylon? I'm going to ask you about some other leagues that might be interested in you, but dude, you're in your 20s, you're living in a cool country, experiencing all this new cultural aspects of your life that most people don't. You're making, I don't know, decent money playing quarterback. You're playing, the Tokyo Dome, Prater, that's one of the big stadiums on this planet, dude. That's a big deal, the Tokyo Dome. Jaylon, I don't want you to send me over your tax returns over there, but are you making a good enough living to keep this thing going a few years and, become the Patrick Mahomes of the X League?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That was something that was really important to me, given my age right now. And I know that I'm still young, but I know that I can't play football forever. And so, the Japan X League being one of the top leagues outside of the NFL and CFL, it's really been able to put myself on a pedestal nationally, which has received interest from, other countries and other leagues throughout the globe. But, still coming in and being able to succeed is what I want to do.
What's the future, Jaylon Henderson? Can you stick around and play there for 2, 3, 4 years? How does this work? And the American angle, we know the Canadian Football League, only a few players, the American imports. How does this work going forward for you?
Absolutely. Great question. For me, I really don't know what the future is. If you were to ask me last January, for me, today it's January 5th. If you were to ask me last January 5th, would I be in Japan? I would have looked at you like you're crazy. So I have no idea what the future holds. I'm the type of guy that, I just sort of go with the flow. And, when the time comes, I'll be able to make that decision. And, whatever is best for me and my future is what I'm going to do.
Got 2 spring leagues now, Jaylon, as you know, the XFL and the USFL, and you'll probably have teammates or guys at some point that are playing in those leagues. I know you have an agent at one point. Will you peek over there and see if there's interest? If you have a chance to, even for less money, you might make more money playing in the X League than you would in the XFL league, Jaylon. How much does that determine what the decision is going to be? Would you like to play on American soil over in the Japanese league? What's going through your head on some of these decisions, Jaylon? You want to stay? You want to get back and play in America?
Absolutely. Great question as well. I know for my family, it would be a lot easier for them to watch me play my games. The hardest part right now is the time zone change. But for me, it's about my development. It's about the guys around me, and it's about being happy at the end of the day. I love football, but I've got a lot of guys, that are playing in NFL, whatever it is. And, you ask them, are they happy? And a lot of them, they're stressed out. And so, for me, it's about, being happy, enjoying what I love to do. And so wherever that is, that's where it'll take me for sure.
Jaylon, how much do Japanese football players watch American football? Do you guys sit around in your off time watching the NFL? Do you talk about the NFL? Do they know who some of the stars are? The whole planet knows who Tom Brady is, but does it go deeper than that? And how much do you guys get immersed in American football?
Absolutely. Well, it's a lot harder to watch football here given the time zone change. You guys are on 4 p.m., I believe, 4:30 or so, or 4:09, something like that.
Yep.
In Boise right now, and I'm on 8 a.m. tomorrow for you guys right now. So the time zone change is a lot different. So a lot of guys, if you ask them, hey, do you know this person? They're like, I have no idea who that is. But the mainstream guys, they know who it is. And, the Japanese are the most down-to-earth people in the world. And so, they make it a lot more fun for you for sure.
Former Boise State quarterback Jaylon Henderson, MVP of the 2019 Mountain West Championship game for the Broncos, now playing in the X League for the Panasonic Impulse. We were told that you guys ran the Statue of Liberty play in the Rice Bowl, and did it work? If so, yes, no. What went on with that, Jaylon? Because anytime we hear about a Statue of Liberty play in Boise, Idaho, we think we invented it or something, and we want to know about it. Like, tell us how you guys incorporated that into your game plan.
Absolutely. It was something that we had been working on the entire season. We had it in our back pocket. It was a little wrinkle that, my coach wanted to bring out. And we did run it in the Rice Bowl game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to score, which happens sometimes. But, all of our guys were able to execute it to its perfection. And it was something that definitely brought back a good memory. Hoping I can get that video to take a look at it, and definitely wish we could have scored on it, but it was still fun to almost reminisce on the past. So
awesome.
Jaylon, what do you think about Japan as a culture? I'm not sure how much you've traveled in life, what you think of Japan, whether you like it. I had a chance to spend 2 weeks in Tokyo and Yokohama, and I loved it. I wanted to go back. I thought it was pretty cool. I remember 2 words, konnichiwa and arigato. So I can say hello and thank you. After that, I'm just a dumb, fat, ugly American. But how do you like Japan?
Oh man, I love it. The people here, the hospitality, it's definitely a place that I feel like, every American should at least come to and experience one time before they leave the earth. Just because it's if you've been in America your entire life, it's just a complete 360 of how the world is. And it really opens your eyes to, seeing how different people are, how people live differently. It really opens your eyes and sort of gives you a different perspective of life. But it's definitely been an amazing journey that I'll remember forever. The only bad thing that I would say has been is just the time zone and the distance from home from anybody that I've ever known. But you get over that after a while, and then it starts to feel like home here and feel comfortable here. And so, and the fact that I'm able to speak the language a little bit now and get myself around, that's something that I think will be very beneficial for my future as well.
Certainly by reputation, and you have found out, the Japanese people and the kind of people they are, unbelievably nice. It was in the news again in the last month when, they went to the World Cup. They cleaned up the stadium, the fans they did after the game. When I was in Tokyo, it's the largest city in the world, 35 million people, and you don't see two things. You don't see garbage cans in the street, and you don't see litter because they take care of it themselves. The nicest, most polite people. That video I saw of you from the Tokyo Dome, everybody's wearing a mask. That's not a COVID thing. They've been doing that for centuries, for decades over there because of the politeness. They feel like they have a sniffle, they're going to put on a mask to take care of you. What have you thought about the Japanese people, and how do they treat American football stars?
Great question as well. Like I said, the Japanese people are the most down to earth. A scenario I like to use is, in America, from my perspective, from what I've seen, it's more so, how can I get myself to be better and get up and elevate to the next level? Whereas here in Japan, it's more so, how can I help you get to the next level? How can I help you be better? If that paints a good enough picture. I have plenty of stories. I can go on and on all day, but they're just the most polite, humble. They just want to be your friend. Very, very down to earth. The hospitality is top tier. It's like I said, it's a place that I feel like, everybody in America should at least visit one time before they leave this earth, because it's truly, truly, truly a special place.
Wow. What an experience for this guy, Jaylon Henderson. There's a few Boise State quarterbacks in the NFL. A few have dabbled in other leagues, Canada and whatnot. Jaylon Henderson balling in the X League and the Far East for Japan, the Panasonic Impulse, big time team there, lose the Rice Bowl, which is their Super Bowl, and hopefully you can make a run at that next year. Jaylon, one thing I got to get to you before we leave you, man. Last time we had you on, dude, I said, hey, we need a Panasonic Impulse Jalen Hurts jersey for our radio studio. Jaylon, you're the rookie of the year. I think you got a lot of street cred over there now. We can send addresses. Jalen Hurts, can you make this happen? Jaylon Henderson, I'm sorry. They call him Jalen Hurts. Jaylon Henderson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you make this happen? Can we get a jersey?
Sir. Yes, sir. It'll be happening. I plan on coming back to the States here in the next few weeks. I could probably stop by the studio, and I will have a jersey for you guys ready to go.
Yes. Jaylon Henderson, Panasonic Impulse Rookie of the Year jersey from the X League. Jaylon, we love catching up with you, man. Thanks for always being so cool with your time, waking up at 8 a.m. to do this for us on January 5th for you. But we love having you on, man. Great stuff.
Yes, sir. Love you guys' show, and appreciate you guys having me on. look forward to hearing the great things you guys have to talk about. And Boise Nation, I miss you guys so much. And, thank you again.
Great guy. That's Jaylon Henderson, the last quarterback Prater to win a Mountain West championship for Boise State. And let's hope that we don't have to say that much longer. I know Jaylon, that's one of those things I'm sure he likes hearing it, but at the same time, it's like, wait, what? No, he needs to get some other guys in that club.
Yeah, let's get them both some championships. That's a pretty cool deal. Love that story. And I can promise you that he is loving life right now. So that's very cool. And I cannot wait to see him here in a couple of weeks. Hopefully you can stop by the studio.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. We want to get one of those jerseys.
Yes,
Good
sir.
stuff. I called him Hurts, huh?
You did a couple of times.
Jalen Hurts, man.
I'm the one that's supposed to be making the mistakes today, not
Jalen Hurts, man. No, Jaylon Henderson, man. I'm going to talk a little bit about Jalen Hurts a little later, though. But decisions, and a couple more decisions. DJ Schramm, Billy Bowens, Dimitri Washington, just to name a few. When, Prater, the clock is ticking for Bronco Nation to find out if they're going to get some of these super seniors to be back on this team next season. That's coming up on Idaho Sports Talk.
From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Studios, this is Ticket